And all that is within me, bless his Kodesh name. Bless Yahweh, oh my soul, and forget not all his benefits. He satisfies my mouth with tough things, so that my youth is renewed like an eagle. He satisfies my mouth with tough things, so that my youth is renewed like an eagle. Yahweh, you're merciful. Yahweh, you're loving. That's why I can say, he satisfies my mouth with tough things, so that my youth is renewed like an eagle. He satisfies my mouth with tough things, so that my youth is renewed like an eagle. Yahweh, you're merciful. Yahweh, you're loving. That's why I can say, bless Yahweh, oh my soul, and all that is within me, bless his Kodesh name. Bless Yahweh, oh my soul, and forget not all his benefits. He satisfies my mouth with tough things, so that my youth is renewed like an eagle. He satisfies my mouth with tough things, so that my youth is renewed like an eagle. Yahweh, you're merciful. Yahweh, you're loving. That's why I can say, bless Yahweh, bless Yahweh, bless Yahweh, oh my soul.
First John, chapter 4. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits, whether they are of Yahweh, because of many false prophets are gone out into the world. Hereby do you know the Spirit of Yahweh. Every spirit that confesses that Yeshua the Messiah is come in the flesh is of Yahweh. And every spirit that confesses not that Yeshua the Messiah is come in the flesh is not of Yahweh. And this is that spirit of anti-Messiah, whereof you have heard that it should come, and even now already is in the world. You are of Yahweh, little children, and have overcome them, because greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. They are of the world, therefore speak they of the world, and the world hears them. We are of Yahweh. He that knows Yahweh hears us. He that is not of Yahweh does not hear us. Hereby know we the spirit of truth and the spirit of error. Beloved, let us love one another, for love is of Yahweh. And every one that loves is born of Yahweh, and knows Yahweh. He that does not love does not know Yahweh, for Yahweh is love. In this was manifested the love of Yahweh toward us, because that Yahweh has sent his only begotten Son into the world, that we might live through him. Herein is love, not that we loved Yahweh, but that he loved us, and sent his Son to be the propitiation for our sins. Beloved, if Yahweh so loved us, we ought also to love one another. No man has seen Yahweh at any time. If we love one another, Yahweh dwells in us, and his love is perfected in us. Hereby know we that we dwell in him, and he in us, because he has given us of his Spirit. And we have seen and do testify that the Father sent the Son to be the Savior of the world. Whosoever shall confess that Yeshua is the Son of Yahweh, Yahweh dwells in him, and he in Yahweh. And we have known and believed the love that Yahweh has to us. Yahweh is love, and he that dwells in love dwells in Yahweh, and Yahweh in him. Herein is our love made perfect, that we may have boldness in the day of judgment, because as he is, so are we in this world. There is no fear in love, but perfect love casts out fear, because fear has torment. He that fears is not made perfect in love. We love him, because he first loved us. If a man say, I love Yahweh, and hates his brother, he is a liar. For he that loves not his brother, whom he hath seen, how can he love Yahweh, whom he has not seen? And this commandment have we from him, that he who loves Yahweh loves his brother also. End of chapter.
First Chronicles, chapter 29. Furthermore, David the king said to all the congregation, Solomon my son, whom alone Yahweh has chosen, is yet young and tender, and the work is great, for the palace is not for man, but for Yahweh, Elohim. Now I have prepared with all my might for the house of my Elohim the gold for things to be made of gold, and the silver for things of silver, and the brass for things of brass, and iron for things of iron, and wood for things of wood, onyx stones, and stones to be set, glistering stones, and of divers colors, and all manner of precious stones, and marble stones in abundance. Moreover, because I've set my affections to the house of my Elohim, I have of my own proper good, of gold and silver, which I have given into the house of my Elohim, over and above all that I have prepared for the holy house, 3,000 talents of gold, of the gold of Ophir, and 7,000 talents of refined silver, to overlay the walls of the houses with it. The gold for things of gold, and the silver for things of silver, and for all manner of work to be made by the hands of artificers. And who then is willing to consecrate his services this day to Yahweh? Then the chief of the fathers and the princes of the tribes of Israel, and the captains of thousands and of hundreds, with the rulers of the king's work, offered willingly, and gave for the service of the house of Yahweh of gold 5,000 talents and 10,000 drams, and of silver 10,000 talents, and of brass 18,000 talents, and 100,000 talents of iron. And they with whom precious stones were found gave them to the treasure of the house of Yahweh by the hand of Jehiel the Gershonite. And then the people rejoiced, for that they offered willingly, because with perfect heart they offered willingly to Yahweh. And David the king also rejoiced with great joy. Wherefore David blessed Yahweh before all the congregation, and David said, Blessed are you, Yahweh, Elohim of Israel, our Father, forever and ever. Yours, O Yahweh, is the greatness and the power and the beauty and the victory and the majesty, for all that is in the heaven and in the earth is yours. Yours is the kingdom, O Yahweh, and you are exalted as head above all. Both riches and honor come of you, and you reign over all, and in your hand is power and might, and in your hand it is to make great and to give strength to all. Now, therefore, our Elohim, we thank you and praise your renowned name. But who am I, and what is my people, that we should be able to offer so willingly after this manner? For all things come from you, and of your own have we given you. For we are strangers before you, and travelers, as were all our forefathers. Our days on the earth are like a shadow, and there is none remaining. O Yahweh, our Elohim, all this store that we've prepared to build for you and a house for your holy name comes of your hand, and is all your own. I know also, my Elohim, that you test the heart, and have pleasure in uprightness. And as for me, in the uprightness of my heart I have willingly offered all these things, and now have I seen with joy your people who are present here to offer willingly to you. O Yahweh, Elohim of Abraham, Isaac, and of Israel, our fathers, keep this forever in the imagination of the thoughts of the hearts of your people, and prepare their heart to you, and give Solomon, my son, a perfect heart, to keep your commandments, your testimonies, your statutes, and to do all these things, and to build the palace for which I have made provision. And David said to the congregation, Now bless Yahweh your Elohim. And all the congregation blessed Yahweh, Elohim of their forefathers, and bowed down their heads and worshipped Yahweh and the king. And they performed offerings to Yahweh, and offered burnt offerings to Yahweh on the day after that day. 1,000 bullocks, 1,000 rams, 1,000 lambs, with their drink offerings and offerings in abundance for all Israel. And they did eat and drink before Yahweh on that day with great gladness. And they made Solomon, the son of King David, king the second time, and anointed him to Yahweh to be the chief governor, and Zadok to be priest. And then Solomon sat on the throne of Yahweh as king instead of David his father, and prospered, and all Israel obeyed him. And all the princes and the mighty men, and all the sons likewise of King David, submitted themselves to Solomon the king. And Yahweh magnified Solomon exceedingly in the sight of all Israel, and bestowed upon him such royal majesty as had not been on any king before him in Israel. And thus David the son of Jesse reigned over all Israel, and the time that he reigned over Israel was 40 years. 7 years did he reign in Hebron, 33 years did he reign in Jerusalem. And he died in a good old age, full of days, riches, and honor. And Solomon his son reigned in his stead. Now the acts of David the king, first and last, are they not written in the book of Samuel the seer, and in the book of Nathan the prophet, and in the book of God the seer, with all his reign and his might, and the times that went over him and over Israel, and over all the kingdoms of the countries? End of chapter.
Jeremiah chapter 17. The sin of Yehudah is written with a pen of iron, with the point of a diamond. It is engraved upon the tablets of their hearts, and upon the horns of your altars. While their children remember their altars and their groves by the green trees upon the high hills. O my mountain in the field, I will give your substance and all your treasures to the spoil. Your high places will be given for sin throughout all your borders. And you, even yourself, will discontinue from your heritage that I gave to you. And I will cause you to serve your enemies in the land which you do not know, because you've kindled a fire in mine anger that will burn forever. Thus says Yahweh, Cursed is the man who trusts in man, and makes flesh his arm, and whose heart departs from Yahweh. For he will be like the heath in the desert, and will not see when good comes, but will inhabit the parched places in the wilderness, in a salt land and not inhabited. Blessed is the man who trusts in Yahweh, and whose hope Yahweh is, for he will be like a tree planted by the waters, that spreads out her roots by the river, and will not see when heat comes, but her leaf will be green, and will not be careful in the year of drought, and neither will it cease from yielding fruit. The heart is deceitful above all, and desperately wicked. Who can know it? I, Yahweh, I search the heart, I test the reins, even to give every man according to his ways, and according to the fruit of his doings. Like the partridge sits upon her eggs, and hatches them not, so he who gets riches, and not by right, will leave them in the midst of his days, and at his end will be a fool. A throne of honor on high from the beginning is the place of our sanctuary. O Yahweh, the hope of Israel, all who forsake you will be ashamed. They who depart from me will be written in the earth, because they have forsaken Yahweh, the fountain of living waters. Heal me, O Yahweh, and I will be healed. Save me, rescue me, and I will be saved, for you are my praise. Behold, they say to me, where is the word of Yahweh? Let it now come. As for me, I have not hastened from being a shepherd to follow you, neither have I desired the woeful day. You know that which came out of my lips was before you. Do not be a terror to me. You are my hope in the day of evil. Let them be confused and confounded who persecute me, but let not me be confused and confounded. Let them be dismayed, but let not me be dismayed. Bring upon them the day of evil, and destroy them with double destruction. Thus says Yahweh to me, go and stand in the gate of the children of the people, whereby the kings of Yehudah come in, and by which they go out, and in all the gates of Jerusalem, and say to them, hear you the word of Yahweh, you kings of Yehudah, and all Yehudah, and all the inhabitants of Jerusalem who enter in by these gates. Thus says Yahweh, take heed to yourselves, bear no burden on the Sabbath day, nor bring it in by the gates of Jerusalem. Neither carry out a burden from out of your houses on the Sabbath day, neither do any work. But set apart the Sabbath day, as I commanded your forefathers. But they did not obey, neither did they incline their ear, but they made their necks stiff, so that they might not hear nor receive instruction. And it will come to pass, if you diligently listen and obey me, says Yahweh, to bring in no burden through the gates of this city on the Sabbath day, but set apart the Sabbath day, and to do no work within it. Then will there enter into the gates of this city kings and princes sitting upon the throne of David, riding in chariots and upon horses, they and their princes, the men of Yehudah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and this city will remain forever. And they will come from the cities of Yehudah, and from the places of round about Jerusalem, and from the land of Benjamin, and from the plain, and from the mountains, and from the south, bringing burnt offerings and sacrifices, and meal offerings and incense, and bringing sacrifices of praise to the house of Yahweh. But if you will not listen and obey me, to set apart the Sabbath day, and not to bear a burden, even entering in at the gates of Jerusalem on the Sabbath day, then I will kindle a fire in the gates of that city, and it will devour the palaces and the fortresses of Jerusalem, and it will not be quenched. End of chapter.
First Peter chapter 4. Forasmuch then as the Messiah has suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind. For he that is suffered in the flesh has ceased from sin, that he no longer should live the rest of his time in the flesh to the lusts of men, but to the will of Yahweh. For the times past of our life may suffice us to have wrought the will of the Gentiles, when we walked in lasciviousness, lusts, excess of wine, revellings, banquetings, and abominable idolatries, wherein they think it strange that you run not with them to the same excess of riot, speaking evil of you. Who shall give account to him that is ready to judge the living and the dead? For this cause was the good news preached also to them that are dead, that they might be judged according to men in the flesh, but live according to Yahweh in the Spirit. But the end of all things is at hand. Be you therefore sober, and watch unto prayer. And above all things have fervent love amongst yourselves, for love shall cover the multitude of sins. Use hospitality one to another without grudging. As every man has received the gift, even so minister the same one to another, as good stewards of the manifold grace of Yahweh. If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of Yahweh. If any man minister, let him do it as of the ability which Yahweh gives, that Yahweh in all things may be magnified through Yeshua the Messiah, to whom be praise and dominion forever and ever. Amen. Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened to you, but rejoice, inasmuch as you are partakers of the Messiah's sufferings, that when his honor shall be revealed, you may be glad also with exceeding joy. If ye be reproached for the name of the Messiah, happy are you, for the spirit of honor and of Yahweh rests upon you. On their part he is evil spoken of, but on your part he is praised. But let none of you suffer as a murderer, or as a thief, or as an evildoer, or as a busybody in other men's matters. Yet if any suffer as a Messianic, let him not be ashamed, but let him praise Yahweh on this behalf. For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of Yahweh. And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the good news of Yahweh? And if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the wicked and the sinner appear? Wherefore let them that suffer according to the will of Yahweh commit the keeping of their souls to him in well-doing, as unto a faithful Creator. End of chapter.
First Corinthians chapter 3. And I, brethren, could not speak to you as spiritual, but as unto carnal, even as unto babes in the Messiah. I have fed you with milk, and not with meat, for before this you were not able to bear it, neither yet now are ye able, for you are yet carnal. For whereas there is amongst you envying and strife and divisions, are ye not carnal and walk as men? For while one says, I am of Paul, and another, I am of Apollos, are ye not carnal? Who then is Paul? Who is Apollos? But ministers by whom you have believed, even as the sovereign gave to every man. I have planted, Apollos watered, but Yahweh gave the increase. So then neither is he that plants anything, neither is he that waters, but Yahweh that gives the increase. Now he that plants and he that waters are one, and every man shall receive his own reward according to his own labor. For we are laborers together with Yahweh. You are Yahweh's husbandry, you are Yahweh's building. According to the grace of Yahweh which is given to me as a wise master builder, I have laid the foundation, and another builds on it. But let every man take heed how he builds on it. For other foundation can no man lay than that is laid, which is Yeshua the Messiah. Now if any man build upon this foundation gold, silver, precious stones, wood, hay, stubble, every man's work shall be made manifest. For the day shall declare it, because it shall be revealed by fire, and the fire shall try every man's work of what sort it is. If any man's work abide, which he has built thereupon, he shall receive a reward. If any man's work shall be burned, he shall suffer loss, but he himself shall be saved, yet so as by fire. Know you not that you are the temple of Yahweh, and that the Spirit of Yahweh dwells in you? If any man defiles the temple of Yahweh, him shall Yahweh destroy. For the temple of Yahweh is holy, which temple you are. Let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seem to be wise in this world, let him become a fool, that he may be wise. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with Yahweh. For it is written, He takes the wise in their own craftiness. And again, Yahweh knows the thoughts of the wise, that they are vain. Therefore let no man boast in men, for all things are yours. whether Paul or Apollos or Cephas or the world or life or death or things present or things to come, all are yours. And you are the Messiah's, and the Messiah is Yahweh's. End of chapter.
Yahweh is my shepherd. I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pasture. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul, my soul, and he leadeth me into the path of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley in the shadows of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, and my cup runneth over. Yahweh, your dove and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell and abide of Yahweh, and I shall dwell in the quiet of Yahweh,
And I shall dwell in the
The Book of James, Chapter 1. Jacob, a servant of Yahweh and of the Master Yeshua the Messiah, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting. My brethren, count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations, knowing that the trying of your faith works patience. But let patience have her perfect work, that you may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of Yahweh, that gives to all liberally, and upbraids not, and it shall be given him. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering, for he that wavers is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. For let not that man think that he shall receive anything of the sovereign. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Let the brother of low degree rejoice in that he is exalted, but the rich in that he is made low, because as the flower of the grass he shall pass away. For the sun is no sooner risen with a burning heat, but it withers the grass, and the flower thereof falls, and the grace of the fashion of it perishes. So also shall the rich man fade away in his ways. Blessed is the man that endures temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which Yahweh has promised to them that love him. Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of Yahweh. For Yahweh cannot be tempted with evil, neither does he tempt any man. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. Then when lust has conceived, it brings forth sin, and sin, when it is finished, brings forth death. Do not err, my beloved brothers. Every good gift and every perfect gift is from above, and comes down from the Father of lights, with whom is no variableness, neither shadow of turning. Of his own will begat he us with the word of truth, that we should be a kind of first fruits of his creatures. Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. For the wrath of man works not the righteousness of Yahweh. Wherefore, put away all filthiness and abundance of evil, and receive with meekness the engrafted word, which is able to save your souls. But be doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. For if any be a hearer of the word, and not a doer, he's like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass. For he sees himself, and goes his way, and straightway forgets what manner of man he was. But whoso looks into the perfect law of liberty, and continues, he being not a forgetful hearer, but a doer of the work, this man shall be blessed in his deed. If any man among you seem to be religious, and bridle not his tongue, but deceives his own heart, this man's religion is vain. Pure religion, and undefiled before Yahweh and the Father, is this, to visit the fatherless and widows in their affliction, to keep himself unspotted from the world. End of chapter.
Thessalonians chapter 2. For yourselves, brethren, know our entrance in unto you, that it was not in vain. But even after that we had suffered before, and were shamefully entreated, as you know, at Philippi, we were bold in our Elohim to speak to you the good news of Elohim with much contention. For our exhortation was not of deceit, nor of uncleanness, nor in guile. But as we were allowed of Elohim to be put in trust with the good news, even so we speak. Not as pleasing men, but Yahweh, which tries our hearts. For neither at any time used we flattering words, as you know, nor cloak of covetousness. Yahweh is witness. Nor of men did we seek praise, neither of you, nor of others, when we might have been burdensome as the apostles of the Messiah. But we were gentle among you, even as a nurse cherishes her children. So being affectionately desirous of you, we were willing to have imparted to you, not the good news of Yahweh only, but also our own souls, because you were dear to us. For you remember, brethren, our labor and travail, for laboring night and day, because we would not be chargeable to any of you, we preached to you the good news of Yahweh. You are witnesses, and Yahweh also, how set apart and justly and unblameably we behaved ourselves among you that believe. As you know, how we exhorted and comforted and charged every one of you as a father does his children, that you would walk worthy of Yahweh,
who has called you to his kingdom and honor. For this cause also we thank Yahweh without ceasing, because when you received the word of Yahweh which you heard of us, you received it not as the word of men, but as it is in truth, the word of Yahweh, which effectually works also in you that believe. For you, brethren, became followers of the assemblies of Yahweh which in Judea are in the Messiah Yeshua. For you also have suffered like things of your own countrymen, even as they have of the Jews, who both killed the Master Yeshua and their own prophets, and have persecuted us. And they do not please Yahweh, and are contrary to all men, forbidding us to speak to the Gentiles that they might be saved, to fill up their sins always. For the wrath is come upon them to the uttermost. But we, brethren, being taken from you for a short time in presence, but not in heart, endeavored the more abundantly to see your face with great desire. Wherefore, we would have come unto you, even I, Paul, once and again. But Satan hindered us. For what is our hope, or joy, or crown of rejoicing? Are not even you in the presence of our Master Yeshua the Messiah at his coming? For you are our honor and joy. End of chapter.
Zechariah chapter 13. In that day there will be a fountain opened up to the house of David and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem for sin and for uncleanness. And it will come to pass in that day, says Yahweh of hosts, I will cut off the names of the idols out of the land, and they will no more be remembered. And I will also cause the prophets and the unclean spirit to pass out of the land. And it will come to pass, when any will yet prophesy, then his father and his mother that begot him will say to him, You will not live, because you speak lies in the name of Yahweh. And his father and his mother who begat him will thrust him through when he prophesies. And it will come to pass in that day, the prophets will be shamed every one of his vision when he has prophesied. Neither will they wear a rough garment to deceive people. But he will say, I am no prophet, I am a husbandman, for man taught me to keep cattle from my youth. And one will say to him, Then what are these wounds in your hands? And then he will answer, These wounds are those with which I was wounded in the house of my friends. Awaken, O sword, against my shepherd, and against the man that is my fellow, says Yahweh of hosts. Smite the shepherd, and the sheep will be scattered, and I will turn my hand upon the little ones. And it will come to pass, in all the land, says Yahweh, 2 parts in it will be cut off and die, but the third will be left in it. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and I will refine them like silver is refined, and I will try them like gold is tried. They will call upon my name, and I will hear them. I will say, It is my people, and they will say, Yahweh is my Elohim. End of chapter.
The book of 1 Peter, chapter 1. Peter, an apostle of Yeshua the Messiah, to the strangers scattered throughout Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, and Bithynia, elect according to the foreknowledge of Yahweh the Father, through sanctification of the Spirit, unto obedience and sprinkling of the blood of Yeshua the Messiah, grace to you, and peace be multiplied. Blessed be the Elohim and Father of our Master Yeshua the Messiah, which according to his abundant mercy has begotten us again into a lively hope by the resurrection of Yeshua the Messiah from the dead, to an inheritance incorruptible and undefiled, and that does not fade away, reserved in heaven for you, who are kept by the power of Yahweh through faith to salvation, ready to be revealed in the last time. Wherein you greatly rejoice, though now for a season, if need be, you are in heaviness through manifold temptations, that the trial of your faith, being much more precious than of gold that perishes, though it be tried with fire, might be found to praise and honor and dignity at the appearing of Yahshua the Messiah, whom having not seen, you love, and whom, though now you see him not, yet believing, you rejoice with joy unspeakable and full of praise, receiving the end of your faith, even the salvation of your souls, of which salvation the prophets have inquired and searched diligently, who prophesied of the grace that should come to you, searching what manner of time the Spirit of the Messiah which was in them did signify, when it testified beforehand the sufferings of the Messiah, and the esteem that should follow. Unto whom it was revealed, that not unto themselves, but unto us they did minister the things, which are now reported unto you by them that have preached the good news to you, with the Holy Spirit sent down from heaven, which things the angels desire to look into. Wherefore, gird up the loins of your mind, be sober, and hope to the end for the grace that is to be brought to you at the revelation of Yahshua the Messiah, as obedient children, not fashioning yourselves according to the former lusts in your ignorance, but as he which has called you is holy, so be you holy in all manner of conduct. Because it is written, Be ye holy, for I am holy. And if you call on the Father, who without respect of persons judges according to every man's work, pass the time of your traveling here in fear, for as much as you know that you were not redeemed with corruptible things such as silver and gold from your vain manner of living received by tradition from your fathers, but with the precious blood of the Messiah, as of a lamb without blemish and without spot, who truly was foreordained before the foundation of the world, but was manifest in these last times for you, who by him do believe in Yahweh, that raised him from the dead, and gave him honor, that your faith and hope might be in Yahweh. Seeing you have purified your souls in obeying the truth unto unfeigned love of the brethren, see that you love one another with a pure heart fervently, being born again, not of corruptible seed, but of incorruptible, by the word of Yahweh, which lives and abides forever. For all flesh is as grass, and all the honor of man is the flower of grass. The grass withers, and the flower thereof falls away. But the word of Yahweh endures forever. And this is the word which by the good news is preached to you. End of chapter.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7. A good name is better than precious ointment, and the day of death is better than the day of one's birth. It is better to go to the house of mourning than it is to go to the house of feasting, for that is the end of all men, and the living will lay it to his heart. Sorrow is better than laughter, for by the sadness of the countenance the heart is made better. The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of joy and rejoicing. It is better to hear the rebuke of the wise than it is for a man to hear the song of fools. For as the crackling of thorns under a pot, so is the laughter of the fool, and this is also vanity. Surely oppression makes a wise man mad, and a gift destroys the heart. Better is the end of a thing than the beginning of it, and the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit. Do not be hasty in your spirit to be angry, because anger rests in the bosom of fools. Do not say, What is the cause that the former days were better than these? Because you do not inquire wisely concerning this. Wisdom is good with an inheritance, and by it there is profit to those that see the sun. Because wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense. But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom gives life to those who have it. Consider the work of our Elohim, for who can make that straight which he has made crooked? In the day of prosperity, be joyful, but in the day of adversity, consider. our Elohim has also set the one over against the other, to the end that man should find nothing after him. All things have I seen in the days of my vanity. There is a just man that perishes in his righteousness, and there is a wicked man that prolongs his life in his wickedness. Do not be overly righteous, neither make yourself overly wise. Why should you destroy yourself? Do not be overly wicked, neither be foolish. Why should you die before your time? It is good that you should take hold of this. Yes, also from this do not withdraw your hand, for he who fears our Elohim will come forth out of them all. Wisdom strengthens the wise more than 10 mighty who are in the city. For there's not a just man upon the earth that does good and does not sin. Also, take no heed to all the words that are spoken, lest you hear your servant curse you. For oftentimes also your own heart knows that you yourself likewise have cursed others. All this I have proved by wisdom. And I said, I will be wise. But it was far from me. That which is far off and exceedingly deep, who can find it out? I applied my heart to know, and to search, and to seek out wisdom, and the reason of things, and to know the wickedness of folly, even the wickedness of foolishness and madness. And I find more bitter than death the woman, whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands like bands. Whoso pleases our Elohim will escape from her, but the sinner will be taken by her. Understand, I have found this out, says the preacher, counting one by one to find out the account, which yet my soul seeks, but I find not. One man among 1,000 have I found, but a woman among all those have I not found. And yet, look, this only have I found, that our Elohim has made man upright, but they have sought out many inventions. End of chapter.
hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Gloria, gloria for Yahshua.